When the body ages, it does not become fragile overnight. It becomes more sensitive, more selective, and much more dependent on context, especially during nighttime rest and the early hours of the day. When metabolism slows down, the stomach produces less acid, the intestines reduce their motility, that is, the natural movements that push and mix food through the digestive system, and as a result, nutrient absorption becomes less efficient, something completely natural after the age of 60, but one that profoundly changes how certain foods interact with the body. Within this scenario appears the kiwi, a small, refreshing fruit, appealing in flavor and color, but also remarkable for its high nutritional density and its richness in bioactive compounds that directly affect digestion, immune function, and metabolism. To understand why kiwi can be either highly beneficial or surprisingly problematic depending on how it is consumed, it is important to understand what it actually contains. Per 100 grams, kiwi provides approximately 83 to 85% water, making it a highly hydrating fruit, contains about 14 to 15 grams of carbohydrates, of which roughly 9 grams are natural sugars, between 2 and 3 grams of dietary fiber, both soluble and insoluble, around 1 gram of protein, a very small amount of fat, close to half a gram, and a notable combination of micronutrients such as vitamin C, in higher proportion than oranges, vitamin K, vitamin E, folate, and small amounts of B vitamins like B1, B2, and B6, along with essential minerals such as potassium, magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, and trace amounts of iron and zinc. Added to this are its key bioactive compounds: actinidin, a digestive enzyme that helps break down proteins, polyphenols and flavonoids with strong antioxidant activity, carotenoids such as lutein that support eye health, and chlorophyll, responsible for its green color and part of its antioxidant capacity. Precisely because of this complete profile, kiwi is almost automatically recommended when digestion, immunity, or healthy eating are discussed. And that positive reputation often leads people to consume it without questioning, without pause, and without adapting it to the new physiology of the aging body, opening the door to a series of silent errors that do not cause immediate problems, but instead create cumulative discomfort that over time is mistaken for normal aging. The first major error is consuming kiwi at any time of day, especially on an empty stomach, under the belief that it activates the intestines. The rarely explained downside is that actinidin is extremely efficient at breaking down proteins, but in an empty stomach with lower acid production and a more sensitive lining, it can gradually irritate the gastric mucosa, leading to burning, mild acidity, a hollow or empty sensation, nausea, or a diffuse discomfort that appears minutes or hours later and that many people never associate with the fruit, repeating the pattern day after day until the stomach becomes increasingly reactive. The solution is not to eliminate kiwi, but to understand its true role and change the timing of consumption, using it after meals that contain protein such as fish, meat, eggs, or legumes, where its enzyme works in favor of the body, supports digestion, reduces heaviness, and avoids irritation, turning a potential trigger of discomfort into a silent digestive ally. The second error is combining kiwi with dairy, a very common practice that appears healthy but can have clear digestive consequences for some older adults. Actinidin reacts with milk proteins, especially casein, breaking them down too quickly, disrupting normal digestion and potentially causing gas, bloating, excessive fullness, or long and heavy digestion that affects daily comfort, particularly in people who already have slow digestion. When this combination is repeated frequently, mild persistent inflammation and the feeling that everything upsets the stomach can develop, when in reality the issue is not the food itself, but the combination. The solution is simple and effective. Separate kiwi from dairy, consume it alone, or with fruits rich in water and antioxidants such as strawberries, pineapple, or citrus fruits, and reserve dairy for other times of the day, avoiding unnecessary digestive clashes. The third error is trusting kiwi as if it were a complete solution for health and immunity. The negative aspect here is deeper and more silent because it creates a false sense of nutritional protection. Although kiwi is extremely rich in vitamin C and a single fruit can meet the daily recommendation, the aging immune system requires much more than a single isolated nutrient, including zinc for immune response, vitamin A for mucosal integrity, vitamin E for cellular protection, selenium for antioxidant balance, and a wide range of polyphenols to combat chronic inflammation. When all trust is placed in one food, dietary diversity is neglected, and the body begins to accumulate deficiencies that are not immediately noticeable, but manifest later as more frequent infections, slower recovery, constant fatigue, or reduced resilience. The solution is to use kiwi as part of a broader strategy, combining it with deeply colored vegetables, berries, leafy greens, and other micronutrient-rich foods that work synergistically. Among kiwi's most notable functional properties are its support for digestion, immune health, cardiovascular health, skin and healthy aging, and eye health. Along with a lesser-known but important fact, kiwi has a low glycemic load, meaning it raises blood sugar more slowly than many sweet fruits thanks to its fiber and cellular structure, making it more suitable for people monitoring glucose levels. The fourth error is consuming the same type of kiwi all the time, ignoring that each variety affects the aging body differently. Green kiwi is more acidic and higher in fiber, making it useful for stimulating bowel movement. But when consumed constantly, it may be too harsh for sensitive stomachs, while golden kiwi is sweeter, slightly higher in vitamin C, and usually causes less acidity but contains less fiber, which may not be sufficient for people dealing with constipation. The negative effect of this monotony is a silent digestive imbalance that shows up as irregular bowel habits or persistent mild discomfort. The solution is to alternate varieties throughout the week, using green kiwi when bowel stimulation is needed and golden kiwi when gentler digestion is desired, thus respecting the body's changing needs. At this point, a key medical insight redefines the value of kiwi after age 60. Institutions such as the Mayo Clinic explain that vitamin C not only supports the immune system, but also significantly improves the absorption of iron from food, a process that becomes less efficient with age. The negative consequence of overlooking this is living with persistent fatigue, muscle weakness, difficulty concentrating, or constant exhaustion, attributing it solely to aging when it may actually reflect poor iron absorption. The solution is strategic and natural, consuming kiwi alongside iron-containing meals to enhance absorption and support daily energy without immediately relying on supplements. Finally, we reach the most common error of all, peeling the kiwi and discarding its skin. The negative impact of this habit is greater than it appears because the skin contains up to 50% more fiber than the flesh, along with flavonoids, antioxidants, and vitamin E, all essential for intestinal health, cholesterol control, and cellular protection. Removing it eliminates a major portion of the fruit's potential and reduces fiber intake, which is critical after age 60. The solution is not to force consumption, but to adapt it, washing the kiwi thoroughly and consuming it with the skin in thin slices or blended, where the texture virtually disappears while the benefits remain intact. The closing message of this content is not one of fear or restriction, but of understanding and empowerment. Kiwi is neither dangerous nor miraculous. It is a powerful nutritional tool that requires context. Used without awareness, it can create silent discomfort, but used with knowledge, it can improve digestion, support energy, enhance nutrient absorption, and accompany the body through this stage of life. Aging does not mean resigning oneself to feeling unwell. It means learning new rules and applying them calmly because the body remains intelligent after 60, continues to send signals every day. And when we learn to listen, nutrition stops being confusing and becomes a true ally for living with greater well-being, clarity, and autonomy.